A new season of Spiritually Speaking and Awakening starts now. This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio. Find your inner doll. They offer quick weave, sew-ins, and much, much more to fit every occasion. Need a wig? Selena's got you. She will customize a unit just for you. Book your next appointment on Booksy today. Did someone say nails? Honey, forget the Bayhive. Contact Queen Bee herself. She offers customized designer nails and even designer press-ons that she will customize and ship to you. Braids, and even twists. Book with Tiffany right on Facebook. Find your inner doll at Dollhouse Tampa Salon and Studio. Tampa. This week's episode is sponsored by Hustle and Bling. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that bling. Lovely paparazzi designer pieces for only $5. That's right, $5. And don't worry about it if the kid gets in the jewelry box. They're only $5. Make sure you catch Allison Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays live on Instagram and Facebook, promoting some of these wonderful fashion fixes that you'll enjoy. And if you miss it, check out the website. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that bling. Hustle and Bling. Get ready for your now awakening. Today's Michelleology returns Memorial Day, only on Stay in Love TV.
This is that kingdom come. Let the spirit of the Holy One pass over. Let your peace cover the earth. Lord, let your will be done. This is the time to take a stand, to let the world know that you can. You can face tomorrow, but today is the day that you say, I will reign. I will reign.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I am Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator.
And I'm Michelle, the motivator and your spiritual evolutionist. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in all of you.
Welcome, everyone. This is for this new season of Spiritually Speaking and Awakening, and we have an amazing show for you tonight. Co-host, we have Irene Vaksberg, who's going to be joining us shortly, and she has such an amazing story. So looking forward to having her on. But before we do that, how's it been going since we wrapped for the season?
It's been a lot going on mentally, physically, emotionally, but most of all spiritually. It's a different season and a different reason for going through the awakening. There's been a lot going on outside of us, but we've learned how to focus on the outside instead of the inside. So this, from last season to this season, has been a total transformation in the way of thinking, the way of looking at things, been responding instead of reacting. So it's like a tornado. But once you get on the inside of the tornado, you can't be destroyed. So I have developed getting inside of the tornado instead of looking at the damage that it's doing on the outside, which keeping me focused. I don't know about anybody else, but there's just been back-to-back things happening. In time you recover from one thing, there's something else going on. But it's all a distraction to keep you in bondage. So in this season that we're entering into now, it is going to be imperative that you stay inside of the tornado so that you're not physically looking at any damage on the outside, because all of it's a facade. This is just a movie, and we just have to stay in the middle, like Jesus was in the middle. And so once we stay in the middle, then we're able to overcome. We stop being survivors and we start being overcomers. So overcoming anything that tries to come over you.
And I mean, they wouldn't call it an obstacle course for nothing, you know?
Right.
So,
right.
I mean,
we're
soldiers, you know, we're soldiers on the battlefield. If you're fighting or whatever, however approach or stance you take, obstacles actually empower you.
Right.
You know, so
it's boot camp. It's designed to make you quit.
Right. And if you don't, that's the great thing about it. It's the obstacles in life are designed to get you to quit.
Yeah.
But if you don't quit, what happens on the other side?
You're going to see your promised land. You're going to see the kingdom which God says has come. It's not coming. It's already here. But we've been convinced by outside influence that there's something coming. No, there is something that's here that you're going to awaken to, because everything is past, present, and future in the now. So if you stay in the now, then you're going to be experiencing things on a different elevation and a different escalation, the speed up. A lot of people saying time sure is flying, but it's just it's the heavenly eternity space that is showing you everything is immediate. Everything is right now. There's no linear. It's just everything in this space. And when we get our mind focused to what's in the space instead of what's outside of the space, then we'll be able to go through the obstacle course without being injured, without being destroyed, without giving up. So it's tough now. I'm not going to tell you it's an easy flight, but it toughens you up. So no matter what comes now, you just say, oh, okay, let me get back in. Because nothing outside of here. Yeah, you got to stay in.
And you going on the other side of that, you mentioned the promised land, but also when you started the journey, you were someone who, when you get to the other side of it, you're going to be a much stronger, better, wiser individual, in spite of however long it took you to go through and complete that series of obstacles.
Right.
When you get on the side, you're going to be stronger. And the most important thing of where you, and what I really appreciate about my dark night of the soul and all the Saturn transits and everything going through my houses and, you know, just totally disrupting my spirit and breaking me and killing my ego, all that stuff. I'm grateful for it because you really do become this bigger, better version of yourself where nothing will move you, where you refuse, where quitting is not an option. And I'm so glad how you started it tonight, because that's what Irene is going to be sharing with us. That's her segment. And, you know, going through all of those obstacles and challenges. I mean, Dr. Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So whatever it is that we are experiencing, we have to change the perspective on it. And been listening to Dr. Bruce Lipton and a couple of other folks at night at Audible. And I was made aware that if I'm experiencing challenges at work and, you know, these personalities that are abrasive, it dawned on me, because they made me aware of it, that, hey, you're only talking to yourself. Right. So if that person with that stringent personality who's rubbing me wrong way, once I realized, I'm like, that's just me. That's just another version of me. And I began to, it's weird, because when I took that approach and that stance, I began to see and hear her differently. because I started tuning in and as if and believed that that was me. There's just another version of me. When I did that and started doing that spiritual work, Stuart Wilde was showed me about if you have a challenging situation with a person, place, or thing, and I'm going to use person because that's my experience. Imagine your hand going inside their chest and massaging their heart and speaking loving, kind words to them, and see what happens. And I did that, and now we still work for the same company and everything, but it's like she's non-existent. And I really am grateful that I did that, because that version of me, I think I fulfilled what I was supposed to fulfill by just sending love her way. And it I guess that was Spirit's way of letting me know that, okay, that exercise is done, because we don't work together at all. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it.
And so that other side that you were talking about is the real you. We kind of have gotten layers of other stuff on top of us to the point that can't even see the real us. So when those trials comes, they're ripping those layers of things that have been placed on you by outside interference, disruption. And then once you get to that other side, you're going to say, wow, is that who I am? Because we've been torn down so much to the part of negativity, to the place that we don't even know who we are, what we come to offer as our purpose. And the scripture, I can't remember where it is, but it says a good soldier does not entangle themselves in the cares of life. And so our purpose is to be that good soldier, that God soldier, where we understand that we are creators and we create solutions. And so whatever comes to attack us, we are forced to find the solution within ourselves. So you can either find a solution, or you can be depressed, have anxiety, get drunk, take drugs. And once all of that wears off, that situation is still there. So I'm just choosing to create solutions for every situation by, as you're saying, seeing it a different way. God told it to me as shedding a different light on it, because we've been taught to shed a negative, dark light on everything. So now, as the awakening comes with the enlightenment, you begin to shine light on the darkness, and then the darkness is gone. So that's kind of been my journey these last months, last 3 years. However, I lost count now.
Years, I'm telling you.
But I'm here, and a lot of people say I don't know where I am. But if you take if you say I'm nowhere, if you take that word and break it apart, it says I'm now here. So that brings you into the present, that you're here. You're not there what you went through. You're not there what you're going to go through, but you're right here present. So I'm grateful to God for showing me who I am through my adversities.
Absolutely. That's the only way. That's like the best. In my opinion, that's the only way that you can become, in my opinion. That's the only way, because it's through the suffering. And I'm forgetting the quote, but it's through the suffering where we experience the most glory.
And so glory is a light. And it shows, when we reach that glory, it shows us God. So it shows us God gets the glory because his light is shining through you. And you get the glory because you're seeing the solution, that you are in the image of God. You are a God. And that you have been put here to reign, rule, and represent in this kingdom. And so that's what we've lost that luster to do through fear, to be reigning and ruling and taking dominion over our kingdom that God has set us over.
So very true, co-host. Stand strong, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. And it's always people, if we would come to realize that everything about us is God, because we are a version, a percentage of him, a slice of him via his imagination. Let us make man in his own
Right.
image. So,
Right.
if we really just align with that truth, then every experience that we have, there'll be a different perspective, we'll see it in a different light, because we're able to see it for what it really is. And it's just something, a part of an experience that's it's going to work out for my betterment, because it's going to improve and may empower me as a soul, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So that lets me know, human experience, I'm human here because I'm on earth. This is not my home. So I aspire to forever be in my spirit, so that I keep everything in perspective. And that has helped me to just really just not attach myself to material things, and just really operate from a space of sincere gratitude. And interestingly, my life is getting better and better and expansive, and more stuff, but it is what it is. So we're talking about, and I wanted to, I'm grateful how everything is kind of segueing for itself, because our quick chat tonight is about supernatural visitations. And that's our theme for this season. And we're talking about Abraham, and Abraham's experience. Co-host, he had a visitation. It's like one of the most famous ones, in my opinion.
He had multiple ones. There are, if you read the story of Abraham, and I'd like to say that we're writing our story, we're writing our Now Testament story, and he had so many encounters of supernatural visitations, from Sarah having a baby, from him sacrificing, which was an implication of God sacrificing Christ, to even be in that lineup is supernatural in itself. So what we don't realize is that every day we actually have a supernatural visitation from God. We have separated somehow, just having them in multiple or just in different areas. But if we really pay attention, there is something supernatural that he's visiting you about in the very day. And so it's coming out of the churchy part of miracles happening here and there, and moving into the supernatural part. That supernatural means above the natural. So every day we're experiencing something above this natural body that we're operating in. So it's no time to quit, because you want to see what the end of the story is going to be. How many times have you watched a movie and you're just waiting to see what's going to happen at the end? I was watching a movie the other night and fell asleep. So the first thing I get up when I wake up, man, what happened at the what happened at the end? So we don't want to be those spiritual people that are ready to quit in the middle of the story, when God has prepared an ending that is going to be so much greater than everything that you've been through. So we want to stay awake and keep pushing and keep going, just to see what the end's going to be of our story.
And that's something that Abraham did. He believed God, and although he had challenges, at the end of his story, God was able to fulfill his word. And that's the thing, that if there's a promise, if there's a destiny, if there's a purpose that's driving you, and it speaks to you every day, if you quit, then
you'll never know.
See the end result of not quitting.
Yeah.
And you won't see the value in when you're not quitting. And what a great segue, because now we're going to take a break. And when we come back, you're to hear the amazing story of Irene Vaksberg. Wow. When you guys hear this story, you are going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt hey, if this woman survived and triumphed, then so can I. So I'm looking forward to her. So we're going to run a couple of commercials, and then when we come back, Irene Vaksberg. So stay tuned.
Think that you are encountering resistance, but actually from your external world, but actually that's your world telling you this ain't it.
The Ride Along with Vanessa Morning Show streams Fridays, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay in love. Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.
That's right. That's right. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and learn more about having your own show. But tonight we have a very special guest, Irene Vaksberg, for tonight's segment of Quitting is Not an Option. Irene, welcome, my love. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm so excited to be part of this. Both of you rock.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You rock too, because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, Irene Vaksberg. You know what, Irene? I want you to share your story. Start at the beginning, and just share with the audience.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I am Irene Vaksberg. I was born in former Soviet Union. I came to this country when I was 12. Yes, I'm 54 years old and proud of each year that I lived in this.
Yay!
I am a mom of 2 beautiful daughters, 4 beautiful grandchildren, been married twice, and living my best life now. But the journey has not been easy. Single mother is a challenge in itself, and on top of it, when you have a mission and purpose and passion and a crazy idea that you can be a salon owner I had big dreams, big goals, and quitting is not an option. And the obstacles that God, universe put in my path, there's a reason, there's a purpose to them, but you don't know that until you go through it. So, salons was built, salon was created. Divorce is not an easy task. Lost parts of my business, rebuild it. My oldest daughter had some issues. It's her story to tell, but she needed a lot of attention, a lot of mental health. And again, the salon had to be sold. I needed money to help her. So the American dream at that point was almost gone. When you build something so big and then it falls apart, not only the salon, but my marriage, second time around, is a lot of guilt. Another child without, separation and divorce. Yeah. And I had to put myself together and, become the warrior that I am again. So I rebuilt my salon for the second time, was thriving, having an amazing time of my life, living in my mission, my purpose and passion, making humans feel good, doing nonprofit things that I absolutely love. And 12 years ago, all of that changed. My incredible, beautiful life changed in 7 seconds. And you know what I've learned is the life is really precious. Today we're on top of the world, and tomorrow may have to start from scratch. So I was on my way to celebrate my 42nd birthday. I was going home to change and have a party because I
Mhm.
am the life of the party. I work hard, but I also play hard. And a gentleman fell asleep behind a wheel and T-boned me, and my life was never the same. The life that I knew prior to it was gone, and the car accident um, left me in chronic pain, anxiety, depression, loss of 70% of my business. Um, it was very hard to I probably never accept it, but to handle it, to swallow it. Uh,
Right.
um, the loss was so huge because it took so long to rebuild it to $100,000 a year, and then you go from the top of the world to where I was. And not only that the car accident took away my business, but it also took my mindset, my health, my financial stability. I've been in many difficult situations, but I had the financial means to be able to get a therapist, a coach, a support system. Here, I had nothing, and the only thing I was left was with doctor's appointments. But if that wasn't bad, doctors neglected my care. And my brain, my neurology basically was starting to shut down. So the part of the brain that was dealing with pain could not handle it anymore. And let me tell you, I was on Vicodin, I was on Norco, I was on Oxycontin, I was on muscle relaxers, but the pain was so big, even though I had all of those things. Um, Still could not handle. I mean, I've had 9 epidurals during that 3 years period. It began shaking and spasms, and I'm not just talking about regular shaking. It's like MS, um, Parkinson's with a seizure combined together by like 1,000 times more. And my video is on YouTube. You can find it, Irene Vaksberg. So in order to understand how I lived, you actually have to see to believe it. I watch those videos now and I'm like, how did I survive that?
I could not believe it. When I first saw your video, I was like, oh my gosh. It was so heart wrenching and just to watch it. And I didn't know anything about your story, anything. I just saw the video and it was just touched my heart how, how painful it was for you just to take 5, 6 steps. Share us with us about that, Irene.
Absolutely. And the worst part about all of this, is that I didn't know what it would trigger and what would stop it. Like even a breath could put me into this hours of shaking where I needed a morphine drip. And that lasted 3 years. I mean, epidurals helped, but epidurals only last so long. And the worst part about it is I hope nobody ever suffers in pain. But if you ever had an epidural, the pain actually comes back more because it's just been suppressed, right? And it's been released. And so all of that was more intensified. All of that was intensified. And as a hairdresser, it's not a good look. I didn't get any volunteers to sit in my chair. People would just leave it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good look. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but I cried many hours. And so, I was ready to go out there and live life. I was not prepared for this car accident. I was in a good space. I was ready to fall in love. I was ready to go find a partner or at least welcome a partner, right? And the only thing I was left with, not dates, but doctor's appointments. And it was hard to swallow. My daughter was taking care of me. Imagine you're 11, 12 years old, has to help you dress and see you in this chronic pain. And, I had to consistently say, no, we can't do this. I can't afford this. I cannot go to your event. And to know that this is my life, it was hard to swallow, that I could not live a full life. Like, there was no joy, and I'm extremely joyful human being. I have a really, I can say, incredible mindset, but everything was falling apart, and I was trying to hold on. I'm not sure to what. It was hard. It was really hard. And then, I prayed and I prayed, and, I felt like God did not hear me. I felt like, why me for the first time in my life? I've never ever said that. I would never wish any sort of pain. And I've been in some difficult situations. And it's like, well, I can handle. God trust me with this pain because I will learn from it. And I know I will inspire others. But this was really hard to swallow. Why me? Like, why me? Like, my American dream is gone. Everything that I worked for is gone. There's no options. There's no solutions. And that's how I felt, very broken and empty. And then doctor said to me, okay, Irene, we cannot help you anymore. We have no options for you. And that devastated me. I did not give up until they said that to me. And it was hard to swallow. And I sat there and I said, well, if they said wheelchair is waiting for you. Imagine me in a wheelchair. I could not imagine myself in a wheelchair. I hike, I do yoga, I salsa, I Zumba, I travel.
This is so exciting because this is truly obstacle being defined, because it was completely opposite of everything of who you are. You practice yoga, you hiked, you were very active. And now you get this opposing experience. Wow. Go ahead, Irene. I just got excited when you were talking.
No. Everything you're saying, there's a point. I'm getting to it. So 5 years ago, I sat I call it my God chair, my prayer chair, where I sat there and prayed. And I said, God, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I cannot see my daughter taking care of me. I missed out on so much. If I don't love myself, if I feel broken, like I'm a prisoner of my body, of my mind, who's going to love me? Who would want to be with me? I don't even want to be with myself. And, it's a reality. That's how I felt.
It's true. Yeah. Been there.
And that scared me, because that's how far I have gone mentally, that I had to go get some medicine for my mental health, because it was just, I sat there and had bag of meds, and I'm like, which one am I going to take? In what cocktail am I going to mix? And I got plenty of bottles of vodka. I am Russian. And if that doesn't do it, I got some tequila too. But it was like I was seriously sitting there and going, how am I going to end this?
Right.
How am I going to, not only my misery, but my daughter's? And I didn't see my parents a lot. I didn't see my friends a lot. Imagine walking to my mom's house and my dad, and you're shaking and spasm. My father was not feeling great already. And to add extra pressure was it was devastating. So chronic pain, depression, it takes a lot, not just from me, but the whole entire circle, the family. So I said, God, I'm done. I said, take me away. And this little voice kept on saying, Irene, one more prayer. And I'm like, I've prayed for 5 years. No one hears me. Like, why one more prayer? And kept on nagging me, like, I'm going. I made peace with going. I surrendered. I was done. I could not handle it. I could not see my life. But this voice kept on saying, so I said, okay, I will give another option, and then God will make the decision. So I said, God, I'm done. I made peace, but if there's something else out there, show it to me. I said, if there's a miracle, I don't believe in it. So, but whatever. This little voice says that you must pray one more time and be really sincere. I'm like, I haven't been sincere for 5 years. I think I'm really intentional in my prayer.
Right.
So I said, okay, miracle, please. Drug-free, non-invasive, no chemicals, no side effect, affordable. So I got tired of being poked, x-rayed, MRI'd. I was praying for diagnosis of horrific things. At least there's a label and the doctor does not think you're crazy. At least there could be a protocol for some sort of a healing or an option of a treatment. Here, they thought I was nuts, and my body is on fire. I have neuropathy, and they're telling me it's in my head. Yeah, I am depressed. Yes, I do have PTSD, but okay, but you touch me and I go to shake. Can you explain that? Nobody could explain to me. And I said to God, please, if it's a business, because I could not see hairs going away, right? I cannot cut. I cannot stand on my feet for too long. Make sure that the business is with mission, purpose, and passion and compassion, and people first and everything second. And so I said that prayer, and I said, okay, it's up to you. And you know what I've learned from my experience in praying is that when we pray, we have to be open heart and open mind, because God delivers what we need, not what we want. And he delivers in the timing of his miracle, not ours. And I was not ready for that blessing until that day I prayed. And what I also promised, that if he does answer, I will share the testimony how I did not believe in him, but he still believed in me. Even though I didn't believe any of this is going to come to provision, because I made peace with dying. I wasn't planning on living. And so I wasn't, because I could not see myself in a wheelchair. There was no way. That was dead in itself. So a friend of mine that was diagnosed with MS, she came into my life a year into the car accident. It was sent by God. She walked in my salon in Beverly Hills. She's not even from Los Angeles. It was just like, perfect timing. And she said, Irene, I'll do whatever in my power before I die to help me find a solution. She wasn't worried about her MS and what she's dealing. She was worried about me. So to make a long story short, she Googled something natural for MS, helping with stability, mobility, weakness of muscles, all the issue that happens with MS. And she said, I found this crazy sock. And I'm like, I don't want to hear about anything. I'm getting my 10th epidural. I'm going to Europe. I don't want to hear about any of it. And she said, but I'm going to send it to you. I said, I don't want it. And it's not that I didn't want it. And the listeners that live in chronic pain, they know. We made peace with our broken bodies, as horrible as it sounds. We made peace with our chronic pain. Another thing that does not work, it's actually more painful than what we're already living, because that hope, to hope for something, and most of the time it does not work, is worse. And I know it sounds weird, but I did not want to be disappointed, because in the back of my head, I gave my power to the doctor in a white suit, or human in a white suit that you think knows more than me.
And they let you down.
They let me down. And we have to be careful how much power we give to people.
That's right. That's right.
That is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. I surrendered to wrong thing, because we put so much trust in the medical field. They're just humans and they have protocols, right? So
Yep.
my best friend, dear Kim, darling, she sends me. May I show it?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So
Looks like a
you
normal
always get
regular.
confused. So she sent me a sock. It wasn't this one. It was another one. But
It looks like yeah.
do you see the little orange patch right here? That is
Yes.
neurological wearable technology. This is a
Wow.
preparatory pattern. It's basically a QRQ code to your neurology, to your brain.
Wow.
So what it does, it unlocks the brain stem in your central system. So if you're in a flight and fight, and that's where my brain was, mentally, emotionally, right? The depression, the
Mhm.
anxiety, the chronic pain, all comes from your nervous system. So when the nervous system is not in balance, everything else is basically not in balance. Lack of sleep, right? Stability, all of it. Indigestion, because the brain is the god 70% immune system. I didn't know that. I had to learn. And I put this magic thing on, and I stopped shaking. And it came in the most incredible moment. It was 6 months from epidural. I was counting the days to get my next one because I had to get on an 18-hour plane, right? And I needed to be okay. I could not start shaking and perish.
Right.
And she sent this to me, and my life changed. Did I believe it right away? No, because when I took this thing off, I still shook. And then this little voice goes, "Oh, see, doctor told you there was nothing there." But as long as I was in it, I was fine. It took 12 months for my neurology to come down enough that I could take this off and be okay. It took 18 months that I can go 3 or 4 days. It took 18 months to create neuroplasticity permanent. So whatever issues I had, I will not have. So it helps your own body to put it into optimized ability to heal itself. And ladies, drug-free, non-invasive,
Right.
no chemicals,
I'd
no
much rather
side
wear
effects.
that every day than pop a pill to
Oh,
destroy my
no
liver.
pills. 7 years.
Wow.
But drug-free, non-invasive, no chemicals, no side effect, affordable. And God continues delivered. The CEO says this is for the mass, not for the elite. He just lowered the price
Real.
of the product and gave 25% off on top of your first aura. The reason I'm saying that I asked God for a company with a heart, soul,
You
purpose
did. You
for
did.
others. And when that happened, I was in the Zoom, I started sobbing. And then a couple of weeks ago, he did it again. God did it again. He said, the CEO said, if I have all of these bonuses and I'm not paying them out, what is the purpose of the bonuses? So he just changed the whole entire structure for us to get those bonuses.
That's
So God delivers every single day, massively, fully. Even though I did not believe in him, he still got me.
right. And I wanted to ask you about your near-death experience when you had your car accidents, because you were as you were sharing your story, you were talking, like, I didn't believe God, I didn't know he was going to do it, I didn't really have any faith. And although you was going through that, you, before all of this happened, you had an NDE. Share that.
Yes. So the first car accident is actually conclusion to the second one. It happened 20
Wow.
years apart. I was hit exactly the same way. And the interesting part about it, when car hit me, I knew exactly what happened. In the first car accident, I went through the tunnel, I saw the light, I saw God. Jesus was Jesus. I'm Jewish, but I mean, there was nothing Jewish about that experience. Jesus stood in front of me, and I was in a room with the movie projector. I saw myself running through fields of flowers, and he said, "I'm not ready to go. I need to help my daughter." And I told you in the beginning, my oldest, had a lot of issues and was not in the right path, and I didn't understand it. She was 9 months. And so God said to me, "You have to go." back. You have to learn. Okay, I have no issues with learning. You have to lead people to their higher power and into the from the darkest moment to the brightest light. And that's all I say now. And and I promise God that I will share my testimony, but I stopped sharing. That I had that out of body experience, that I saw God, that He had a conversation with me, that He told me to go inspire others. I didn't do it. So when I got into that car accident, I knew that I wasn't practicing what I preach. And I had to do some other things in my life that I procrastinated, right? You can say something, but if you're not following, so it has to be mind, body, and soul. It all has to be connected. So when you send the message, it's only and you send the message, but you have the things. Universe will make that small problem a bigger problem. And what did the universe did for me? Made that problem bigger. I needed to reorganize my business. I was like 3 months booked in advance. I had a waiting list. I needed to charge more, get rid of some of the people that were taking advantage of me, right? And I didn't do it. So it's God does not put us in the bad situation, but God puts obstacles on us that we learn from. So there's no more procrastination. I am not playing with God. Every single day I share the testimony of a second chances, well, probably second and third and fourth, and that everything happens for a reason. And in the midst of my last 5 years, I realized that I had to go through this difficult moment to be able to find this light. This was giving me the platform, the voice to say, look, I've been there. I lost my faith completely. And look where I am now. The faith is 3 times stronger, 300 times stronger. I'm a bigger believer than I ever was. I wasn't buried. I was planted for something super special. That difficult moment was my rebirth to become even more of who and what I am. But the most important thing is the power of prayer, right? Like we sometimes are in doubt, but however you believe in, still God, right? It's just, I mean, I literally did not believe in anything at that moment. I was done. I was like, whoever, I was like, I don't know who I'm praying to, but whoever is up there, please answer. So
I'm with you on that, Irene. You
so
get to the point where you're like, look, I don't know who or what's out there, but I need some help right now. I need you all to help me. You just really get to that state where you question everything. But there's so much value in the questioning. People, I don't know about you, but we were brought up, don't question it. Just, but there's so much value when you question, because you open up these portals of where your answers can come if you just allow yourself to just, open up. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Irene. You're like, look,
I was open, and the blessing is so big. And consistently still giving to me. And people say, do you wish the car accident never had? No, because it brought me so much. It took a lot away from me, right? I will always be a hairdresser. And still till this day, I look at my book and I cry sometimes because it's empty with what I knew who I was. I had to completely re-identify myself. But now I have a book full of these beautiful interviews, people that in chronic pain, kids, that parents that have special need kids, and I get messages every single day. Irene, my child said, Mom, for the first time, they're 14 years old. My mom can walk now and get out of bed. She was in bedridden for 10 years. And I would never look at this gift if I didn't need it, right? What they say? Through your difficult moments, through when things happen to us personally, we become the voice, right? We find our mission only through our struggle. And I would never be able to relate to people in chronic pain.
Had you not had the experience.
So those socks, are those socks, where can they be got? Where did you get them from?
So a friend of mine brought them to me. She purchased them on website that we the business that we're in now, and she gifted to me. And I rejected the gift because I was expecting to be mainstream, like, not mainstream, but like old school, a
Right.
pill, a surgery, right? This is
Yeah.
so not,
Non-traditional,
mainstream, not
alternative.
traditional. So I was like, what is this gonna do to me? But gave me my life back. I don't question it anymore. I mean, I understand it, but like, who cares?
It's technology. It's
It's
technology,
technology. But
and
you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, we want a pill, right? We were used to being a pill. So yeah,
Right.
look, she's a descendant of God. She's my guardian angel. She was put into a Beverly Hills salon, and let me tell you, I don't know how much time we have. This is how universe works. She walked in, I gave her attitude. She brought me some vitamins, and I just wanted to get home. I was exhausted already. When I
Mhm.
met her, I wasn't shaking it. It was just a lot of pain. And so I didn't want to hear about this vitamins. I'm a hairdresser in Beverly Hills. I know everything, right?
Mhm. Right.
And then she goes, "Oh, we have this." I was resisting. So God's saying, "Okay, I'm going to show you another way. I'm going to show you another way." And there's a book called um, The Celestine Prophecy. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
I
Okay, so
haven't.
if have you read it?
No, but I'm
No,
gonna get it. So
it's a
Celestine
must.
Capsule. Yeah, because
Celestine
I think they
Prophecy.
did movies and stuff on that as
Yeah,
well
there was a
too.
movie. So the Celestine Prophecy says your messages come from the most strangest places, and it comes from the most weirdest people that like, just like, you have to look beyond what you see. It's more like, beyond the ram, right? Like different
Right.
dimensions they
Right.
talk about. Very cool, very inspiring. You have to be, well, you are beautiful. You're ready to hear it because it's out there. And she shows me this book. The product that she had in there 30 minutes prior to it, I talked about that. So there's no
Mhm.
coincidence. And because that message was put into me again, and I believe it came from me being so stubborn and said, well, how am you asking for prayer? You're praying for a solution, and I'm putting it in front of you. This person, I see that now. This person was my answer, but I was pushing it away. So he said,
Mhm.
okay, you just talked about this. Let me show you that it's real. Like, I'm delivering on your prayer, but not how you're asking.
Right. Right. So
Right.
that's why
Yeah.
you have to stay open
You
and
have to stay
listen.
open, and
Mhm.
the solution comes in the most weirdest shapes.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think that was
Exactly.
saying about uh sometimes it'll appear the complete opposite, and you won't you'll miss it, it'll pass you by, but
That's right. So
Creator's
yeah,
so gracious for us that he keeps sending it until we see it.
yeah, yeah. So I've been blessed by this gift. I've been blessed by having my life back, and I would not change any second of my pain because I'm here with both of you. And if it wasn't for my car accident, I would never meet you because I had no reason for it. Right,
Right.
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 Interesting.
And
We've
Interesting.
talked about tonight shedding different lights on the things that we go through that are hard. We see them as hard, but if we could see the other side of it, then our journey through it won't be as difficult. But the story that you shared with us tonight is, you know, I can't even imagine, even with the things that I'm going through, I can't imagine, just shaking, and you can't stop it. And you're in the midst of people. So in order for you to have not survived that but overcome that is just a great testimony for our viewers to hear, because maybe somebody's going through something that is not as severe as you are, and they've thought about giving up or quitting. I know we've all had places in our life where we kind of thought about it. We knew we weren't going to do it, but it was in the corner of our minds. So you have to be honest about that to people, so
Right.
that they can know that I'm not a lost cause just because I thought about it. But you've encouraged me, as well as I'm sure most of our viewers, that there's no need to quit. We just talked about
oh,
seeing what the end is going to be. So I'm excited
There's
about
no
your story.
quitting. Thank you so
Right.
much. I say that, take thousands of lost steps. And I say to people, please, thousands lost prayers. I mean,
Yeah.
we must, yeah, it's hard. And it was really hard. And it's easier now well, it's not easy to talk about it. I mean, that was the lowest
Yeah.
I've ever been.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep going. Like, yeah, God hears you. Just whatever you believe, it hears you, but it has to hear you really, like, I don't know, like more intentionally. I don't even know how to explain. Keep praying, keep taking this tiny baby step. Hold on to the invisible light. Like, I hate that saying, fake it till you make it, but God, fake it till you make it.
Right, right. And believe, you have to
And
believe. You
yeah,
really do. And it's
you know,
hard
it's hard.
because we around all of this material stuff, and we get caught up and we lose sight of who we truly are, and we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We forget that. And
Yeah,
then when these hiccups happen in our life, then they're really just amazing opportunities for us to be reminded of who we truly are. So
yeah.
they can get this amazing sock on, is it gothealth.voxlife.com?
Yes, but connect with me first. Let me help
Oh
you
yes, of
understand
course. Oh yes, of course.
it. Don't go
Yes.
and purchase anything. Connect with me so I can guide you and help you. I take this really passionately. This is my mission, my purpose. I hold your hand through it. And yes, it's simple, put a sock on, but there's a little more to it than that.
All right, so get a hold of Irene on social media. She's on TikTok. I love her. Sometimes I just take some time and just scroll through your videos and hit
Oh,
love, love,
thank
love,
you.
love, love, because I love
Yes, I
everything
do.
about it. Your story, you're
Thank
so
you.
inspiring, and it can truly just inspire someone to just get back up and one more day and say that one more prayer, and get up one more time. And we were always told that in the church, Michelle, just keep going, don't get up, don't quit. But when you're going through something,
That
it can
doesn't
be
work. You need a little more
quite
than that.
challenging. You'd be like, look now, this is
Yeah.
just too much. I can't deal with this. I'm at my breaking point. And you have all those dramatic experiences. And
Right.
then you hear some story, Irene's story, and then you realize it wasn't so bad after all, compared to,
Right.
bless your
And
heart.
that's what I was
Everything.
saying. Out of all the stuff that I'm dealing with, I can't even compare to what you went through. I'm a single parent too, and my daughter had some mental disturbances also. So a lot of your story was similar to mine, except that part where you've gone through the car accident and that shaking. So I'm just honored to hear your story and for
Thank you,
everyone else
Michelle.
to hear it. So if you hear this story, you can't quit, because if Irene is still here, if God did it for her,
Oh,
He
yep.
can do it for you.
and
So
and you and you know what I say, Michelle, I tell people, don't compare stories. Your story is as
right, it's
painful
different.
as it
Yeah,
for you. So people
yeah,
say, don't I tell people, don't minimize your pain. Mine is
yeah.
my own. Yours is as difficult, as painful as it could be. And when you kind of minimize this to say, oh, yours is worse, don't shorten yourself. Like, you have to, in your own life, you have to fight for the things you have to fight, and it's not
Right.
easy. So your journey is your journey, so your pain
And
is
it's
your pain.
also
And
how
not,
God has empowered you for that journey. We're all
yes,
empowered differently for our purpose. And so we
yes,
can't compare stories, but your story just generates some more power for people to just keep going.
Keep
A great
going.
example, a great testimony, a
thank
great
you.
opportunity. We all get to the points where we're going through and we're like, I don't know what to pray. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And sometimes you just have to be quiet and just hear something. So
Yeah,
you're right about, that's why I say the experience it's not as powerful unless you've had the experience. Otherwise, it's just another story. So your experience is not just another story. It is a true testament and a testimony to the power of God and how he can
Amen.
work within us.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how he
Absolutely.
will meet us. We use that term loosely. I do now. He will meet us, but how spirit will meet us right in those defining moments of our lives, just to keep reaffirming to us, yes, I'm here. Yes, I got you. Yes, it's all working for your good. Yes, you are an overcomer. You will get through this. Just say that one last prayer. I'm gonna take that with me everywhere I go, Irene. Just one last prayer to keep
One
going.
last prayer. You never
Quit
know
it.
which one, right? So we have to continue praying, right? We have to continue. I mean, I still pray every day. It never stopped. It's just with the difficult moment, the prayer was kind of like, okay, it makes me feel comfortable, but I don't know if I'm really believing in it. But I never stopped praying. It's just it was with a different energy, right? And
Exactly.
gratitude every day. I was grateful for my epidural. Listen, I was grateful for my Vicodin and Norco and my morphine drip because it gave me a little, it gave me a little chill. It gave me a minute of relaxation. It's not a good way to live.
You made lemonade out of the lemons that life threw
and
at
I
you.
always say that I threw a shot of vodka in there. I can't help it. I have vodka. I'm not glamorizing drugs or anything. Please, whoever is watching this, I'm just saying that, in the difficult moments, they serve their purpose, right?
Right, my love.
Because addiction is the #1 killer in the United States. So I'm actually very happy I have this to help people, right?
Yeah, right. Irene,
Thank you.
It's been an extreme pleasure having you on Spiritually Speaking and Awakening. Your story is truly inspiring and moving, and so grateful that you made time for us on our new season. So thank you so much.
Thank you both. It's such a pleasure. An honor. Vanessa, Michelle.
Thank you so much tonight, everyone. We appreciate you tuning in. Join us next week for another episode of Spiritually Speaking and Awakening. But until then, stay in love. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Say goodbye. Take it to the park. Say goodbye.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.